Hello, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we are going to explore something that can completely shift the way that you move through life. It's creating a clear and compelling vision for the life that you want to live. Because here's the thing, creating long lasting transformation change doesn't happen just because someone tells you to work harder. It doesn't stick just because of willpower alone. Lasting transformation happens when you know exactly what you're moving towards, when you have a vision that excites you, that inspires you, and that actually feels aligned with what's most important for you. Because most of the time, people are setting goals around things like earning enough money or getting healthier, advancing in my career. And yeah, those goals matter, but often they're not enough to fuel sustainable, long lasting change, transformation. Those are goals that are focused on the outcome. And we want to focus on our vision, our why, and really being clear on what's important. And so we're going to create a vision. Like actually, today we're going to write it out. So if you don't have pen and paper, go ahead and pause this and get it. And no, don't type it out. I'm really inviting you to write old school, if possible. And we're going to be writing out a clear vision. It's one that is going to connect with who we are, what our values are, what's most important, so that we are able to take purposeful, consistent, sustainable actions every day. And this vision can become our North Star. It's what helps us make these aligned decisions, what helps us have boundaries without the guilt. So we feel more confident with the choices that we're making and that we can follow through on our habits because they're connected to something that's much bigger and connected to our values and what's most important. And so here's another piece of it. And that's our mindset and our beliefs. Because you can create a beautiful vision on paper, but if deep down you don't believe that it's possible for you, then you'll find ways to sabotage or shrink back. So, in a moment, when we write down the vision on a separate sheet of paper, I'm also going to invite you to write down any beliefs that show up that are not aligned with this life that you're creating, not aligned with who you are, how you want to show up, and what's most important to you. And so I'm talking about things like beliefs that might show up that say, I don't have enough time, or I'm not disciplined enough. I don't follow through, or people like me just can't have that kind of life. So if you notice any beliefs that are showing up that are not aligned, you're going to write it out. And then also, you're going to write out what that opposite would be or what that helpful belief would be. So, for example, as we are creating a more empowering belief, it is I create time for what matters most, right? If we have this belief of like, oh, I don't have time for that. This more empowering, aligned belief is I create time for what matters most. If we have this old belief of like, oh, I'm not disciplined enough, I don't follow through with things. This empowering belief is I am building discipline every day. I'm just giving you examples. Okay. Or if we have this belief like, oh, things just don't work out like that for people like me. This empowering belief is I am worthy and capable of living my ideal life. Okay. Hopefully you get it. We're going to write it out in a moment. And now let's start with our vision. So take a deep breath. Hmm. Breathing all the way in, all the way out. You're writing about your ideal life. And so I'm going to give you some prompts. And in these prompts, I'm going to invite you to write out things that you're feeling, what you're doing, what your experiences are of an ideal day in your ideal life. So, first, reflect on it, think about it. Oh, what do I want in my life? What is ideal for me? Not just like if everything is exactly as it stands right now or how my life is right now. What are these little shifts? Allow yourself to think big. Allow yourself to really expand out. What do I want my ideal life to look? What is it that I truly desire? Right? If you're working at a 9 to 5, that's like, ah, it's okay. It pays the bills. You don't have to just create an ideal life of you working at the same job and just feeling a little bit happier. Like, that's cool. But also, I'm inviting you to really expand out. What is it that I truly desire? So, in my ideal life, here's some prompts, okay? In my ideal life, I wake up feeling dot, 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 fill it in. How do I feel when I wake up in the morning? So you're going to write these out in the present tense as if they're happening right now. I wake up feeling energized, excited, motivated, ready for the day, confident, whatever it is. I wake up feeling. My mornings feel like, okay, filling it in. My mornings feel like what? Joyful. They're easy. What are your mornings like? Next prompt. I move through the day with what? Ease, joy, confidence, excitement, motivation. Just throwing things out there. This is about you, what you want in your ideal life, in your ideal day. Giving you ideas of prompts. You don't have to write it exactly in the same way, but hopefully you get the gist. Evenings are spent doing what? Evenings are spent what? Relaxing on the beach, looking at the sunset. I don't know. How do you want your evenings to look? How do you want to spend your days? My health looks and feels like what? How's your health when you're looking at your ideal life? Just giving you ideas for prompts. You write it out however you'd like. I know I'm not spending a whole lot of time right now. This is a video that you can rewatch again, but also you can just have these prompts and then come back to it. My work. My work is what? My day flows like this, right? Throwing prompts out there for you. What is the work you're doing? And when I say work, I don't necessarily, again, mean like a 9 to 5 or even that you own your own business. Sometimes our work can be how we're showing up out in the community, right? You could be retired. You could have enough passive income coming in that you don't have to have a 9 to 5. But I hope if you're following me and if you're here with me, it's because you do care about making a meaningful impact in the world in some kind of way, whether that be through volunteerism, showing up in your community, owning your own business, working in somebody else's company. It doesn't matter. But my belief is that every single one of us has a duty to show up and contribute to the world in a positive way, right? We are giving and not just taking. So when you think about the work that you're doing, what is that? How do you show up for the work? How do you feel when you're doing whatever work it is that you desire to do? My relationships are, right? Again, just prompts thinking about your relationships. The key areas that I focus on through with all of my clients or my work is health, work, relationships, because I think those are the most important components, right? Your relationship with yourself, with your higher power, with your partner, with, kids, family, it doesn't matter. Our relationships matter, our health, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, our health, and then our work, our contribution, how we're contributing to the greater good. And then I feel supported by, right? How are you supported? Taking some time thinking about that. All right. So you have your list. Add more later if you'd like, but you have this vision. And now your belief. So read it over. Notice what's coming up. Are there any beliefs that are not aligned? Are there any beliefs that are not aligned? Taking a moment, writing it out, and then writing out what that empowering belief would be. What would that opposite belief be? What would that helpful belief be? Taking some time here. remembering the beliefs that you're writing out, anything that shows up for you, being honest with yourself as you're reading over your ideal life, and then being honest with yourself around what beliefs are showing up as you're reading it over. Is there anything that doesn't feel helpful? Acknowledge it and then write out what that empowering belief would be. Right? So that's the exercise. And so hopefully this was helpful for you, getting clarity around what your ideal life would be and being honest with yourself around what beliefs might not be supporting you right now. What are some of those things that show up that might be, right, trying to sabotage you? Be aware of them. So a starting point is always awareness, right? Celebrating that you are here doing this inner work, getting clarity, recognizing what's important for you, and then also recognizing these old things that might be showing up that are not aligned with where you're headed. And then we start by reading the ideal life to yourself or visualizing it. If you're someone who can actually like visualize and picture it, right? Every morning, you can start by what is this life I'm creating? Let me visualize that or let me read this list. And again, you can add more to this. You can make it more full, more comprehensive. This is a starting point. And you can also read what those positive statements are, those positive affirmations, right? I create time for the things that matter, as an example. So writing it out and more and as you're going through your day, as you're going through your life, recognize if there are other times when beliefs are showing up that are not aligned. Acknowledge it and then create a more empowering statement that is actually going to support you. This is our starting point. And another and be compassionate with yourself. If you notice, like, I am doing this thing that is contradictory to what I say I want, acknowledge it. Be compassionate with yourself and know that this is just the beginning. We're just starting off on this journey of doing things in this way, and that there is support available for you. That you're not alone. So hopefully this was helpful. If you need any support, you can reach out. Lots of ways that you can get additional support and just remember that you are worthy and that it is possible for you to live the life of your dreams. Okay. Have an amazing day. Hope to see you soon. Bye.